one. We are, as they say, live. Welcome to the show. Here you go.
This is 2OF Entertainment.
Welcome to Habanos.
Yeah, I don't think it's Welcome to Habano. It's
Whoa, different show?
different.
Oh,
Well,
it's a Greg show. Oh, wait, this show.
This is 2OF Entertainment.
What could be more reprehensible than two old farts? Three old farts featuring Dave and Steven and Greg Shapiro with funny ha-ha.
There we go. Sorry about that, kids. This is what happens when it's, early in the morning here on the super yacht. So we don't pay attention.
Well, that was funny, peculiar, I think, because people tuning in for the ha-ha, and they got cigars.
Well, you only got the beginning of the cigars. You didn't get the whole cigar, so it's okay. So how's everybody doing, Greg? How have you been?
Yeah. Fine. And busy.
Yes,
right
I know
now,
the feeling.
There's a Dutch election coming up here in the Netherlands, and
Nice.
that's the end of the month. So I'm doing a pub quiz format for the Dutch elections coming up. A little bit about U.S. politics, a little bit about Dutch politics for people who want to figure out what's going on. How much of this right-wing stuff is making its way over to Europe and the Netherlands, and pub quiz style. So at Boom Chicago, and working on that.
And just to let you know, as you're working on that, the host from Habanos Saturday apparently is watching this, and he saw the cigar intro start, and he just texted us on the chat part. He goes, "Cigars." Someone said cigars, so he's very excited. I have to break it. I have to break it to Reza. No blah. That's Saturday when we do the show. Greg's going to talk about politics and whatnot. Actually, Reza would be
now I have
Reza, you should come in for this. You can talk about politics with Greg and David for like 17 hours, and I can go and create hatred elsewhere in the world today. But so it's very interesting what's going on between here and everything else. Watching Trump at the UN. David was working on escalators while he was on holiday. But it was interesting. It was interesting to see.
And the teleprompters.
And the teleprompters,
a dual kick. So,
but it's interesting because climate change is poo-poo now, according to Trump. And it's a scam. That's what he said. And he's telling all the countries at the UN, big scam. And don't get involved. Don't do this. Don't do that. Yeah. Oh, my God. Trump's just not. It's interesting.
Yeah. We actually, after the UN speech and Trump talked about it's a green scam, he mentioned the term it's green scam, mentioned it enough times that a friend of mine who used to work for Greenpeace, she bought the domain name greenscam.com.
Nice.
So now that's going to be a website, and she's just now figuring out what kind of game you can play, but we're thinking that
you should be on that one, Greg. You should be starting.
I'm gonna. I think the game is you can scratch away little sections, and then you reveal the picture behind. So every time you scratch away one of the Trump statements about how wind causes cancer, But so that's one game. But then the picture behind is Trump posing with Epstein, and the final message is "Nice try, Donnie. Release the Epstein files."
Oh my God, that is too funny.
Really, the shutdown happening right now. It's not a Democrat shutdown, a Republican shutdown. It's an Epstein shutdown.
Yeah, our whole country is just in its own little world.
They're
so
trying
I'm not
to
really
do anything they can to not make the Epstein files come to light. And
yes,
we have to
we shut down the government. So today's the 8th day, I think, which is great. I mean, they don't really do anything as it is, so I'm happy. So
I guess the chance to sack everybody, without paying them any I mean, like yesterday, did he say something about? They asked him about, do they get backdated pay when they come back to work? Well,
furlough.
They get the furlough stuff. Yeah.
No. He said some people will, and then some people won't.
Ah, all right. Well, that's going to be interesting. It's going to be a very interesting next couple of weeks here in America.
You should be glad you're on a yacht, really, Stephen, because there aren't any sort of air traffic controllers, because they're all they're not being paid, so they don't care.
Right.
So,
oh wait, so they're still required to work, but
then Burbank Airport closed down because the air traffic controller said, if you're not paying us, we're not coming in.
I mean, right? Yeah. Ever since Ronald Reagan, I remember in the 80s.
I had a friend, and he would tell people that the president of the United States fired him. And I go, what? He goes, I was an air traffic controller, and he would pull out his letter from Ronald Reagan that said, whatever, like, dear scumbag, you're fired, love the president. And he has it today framed in his office that he's very proud to say that Ronald Reagan, the president of the United States, fired him.
Right.
And I just think that's the funniest thing.
Is this a Republican thing then? That every time that they just don't like air traffic controllers. I mean, I know Mr. Trump was concerned about people who were vertically challenged. He didn't like them, having jobs and stuff like that. But but just in general, then, so air traffic controller is, I suppose, that's a bad profession.
Air traffic controllers are short people.
No, well, I didn't say that, but evidently that's the reason why it all gone tits up.
You sound like Trump now. I didn't say it myself, but I heard it. Lots of people are. Let's
put it this way. I'll look into it. I'll look into it.
Oh my God!
We have concepts of a plan to determine the height of the requirement. There should be a height requirement for these air traffic controllers.
Well, I think his biggest problem, I keep watching, I pick this.
Wait, so if anyone is younger than whatever and not an old fart, so in the 1980s, right, the air traffic controllers in America went on strike, I believe, and they're federal employees. So I don't know what kind of union they have necessarily.
They have a union, and the union said you need to pay us more, and Ronald Reagan was like, no. And they said, we're going to strike. And they said, we're going to strike. He's like, go ahead and strike. And then he gave them, I think they were on strike, we'll say 30 days. And then the military took over the towers. Yeah. And then he said, if you don't go back to work, like on September 1st, you're all fired. Right. And, a handful went back to work and the rest got fired.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Oh, okay.
So your friend who had the letter.
These are all people in the Mile High Club. Is that the union? Is that what it's called?
Not for an air traffic controller. They're the ones who direct the planes.
Pretty high. I mean,
pretty high. The towers. So my friend has the letter that Ronald Reagan sent to all the air traffic controllers, if you will, that said you're fired. And he has it. We used to carry it with him, and now it's framed in a frame behind him on his wall in his office. That's his pride and joy.
I think it was right after the movie Airplane came out.
Oh no, the movie Airplane came out. You mean the one with Leslie Nielsen or the original one? Okay, 1980. Yeah, about 1980. I thought you meant Airplane, the original one with back in the day, the original Airplane, the serious one with Dean Martin. Airport. Sorry, Airport. Yeah.
No, Airplane came out of all the airplane disaster.
Oh, those were great. And Peter Graves, Johnny.
Yeah.
You ever seen two men naked in a gym? And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That was just the best. And Shirley, don't call me Shirley. That was a funny flick.
I just want to let you guys know. Good luck.
Yep. Good luck. Yep.
I mean, but do you need air traffic controllers? I mean, if you're going back to when America was great, I mean, the Wright brothers, they didn't have air traffic controllers. They didn't need them.
I have to go through this every day. Every day, Greg.
Is this Trump logic that they think, well, who needs air traffic controllers? If America is so great, they can just fly. People just fly around, do stuff.
You could almost make a comparison to drones. We never had drone problems before, just because. Yeah, like the Wright brothers, there were no airplanes before.
Yes, they were good. Here's what's going to happen. This is all the big scheme. So in 2028, there won't be an election because there'll be no federal employees, and the king can be crowned, and everyone will be like, "Oh, the king is crowned."
Yeah.
That's why we're on the yacht in Monaco, because we don't want to hang out with the king to be crowned. So we hang out in the yacht in Monaco.
And you can have all those wonderful little coins with his head on it as well, you know, like the dollar.
Yeah.
Dollar coins with.
That was so cute. Someone was like, doesn't Trump know that you can't put the face of a sitting president on a coin because there's an 1866 rule that says you have to be deceased to appear on U.S. currency.
But here's how here's the question:
Is he care about an 1866?
Yeah. Does he care about the laws of 2025? It's less 1886. So, but the funny thing
unless, of course, he is actually dead. I mean, that
I was just going to say, is he alive though? I think that's the question.
So
I think that's what we have to go with.
Is my favorite twist. Yes, we don't know. We can't prove he's really alive.
All right. So Reza says Trump is a genius. It's hard to understand genius. Yes. Hey, Reza, I'm going to leave shortly. If you want to come on and take my place, Greg would love to have you because you, my friend, would be an interesting dialogue. Rizzo's a great guy. He's very smart, and he's from the cigar show, but he's intellectual. He went to some poo-poo school in like London, you know, one of those schools. So, and he knows it, and he walks around. He goes, "Hello, I'm a British guy," even though he's Pakistani. He talks like that. It's hysterical. But anyway, but he's saying Trump's a genius. We talk about this sometimes on the show. I always say Trump is stupid like a fox.
Yeah.
You know, that's the old saying, and that truly is.
News, you mean? Like Fox
I'm sorry?
News. Like Fox News. He's stupid like Fox News.
No, David. No. This is daily. This is daily, Greg. Every show. This is what I have to put up with. Even calls we have about shows. Grandpa didn't take his medicine today. Yeah. So
because it's giving me autism. That's why I've stopped.
You stopped the Tylenol? That was crazy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've stopped that, you know. Yeah, and minestrone soup as well is pretty bad for your autism. And spaghetti letters because I'm dyslexic. So I've stopped all of that.
Oh my God. Greg, what do you have in the world of good news? Because Trump is that's a 5-hour show. You got Gaza going on, you got all the stuff. So
I was gonna say how Trump trying to link Tylenol, to autism.
Yeah.
Anything to distract from the Epstein files. Tylenol, don't take Tylenol. It causes autism. But here in the Netherlands, where the medical professionals will sooner send you home with a paracetamol or a Tylenol than any actual
broken
treatment.
Your leg, paracetamol.
Right.
Yeah.
And the bedside manner of many Dutch doctors is kind of autistic. So
there you go.
Maybe there's a connection. Trump could be even a stop.
They come for the Trump charm school, I think Dutch doctors.
Yeah. Well, sorry, you asked for good news. I did. So I bring climate good news examples just to piss off Reza. I don't know. Sorry.
Well, no, Rizza's going to come on and join us in a second. So because I'm going to be leaving, but Rizza will talk to you about Trump's genius, which I think you two. That's going to be a very intellectual and funny show. And on climate change, Rizza, I think believes.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
It is funny, Thanks, David.
Yeah, it's funny. And then Rizza will. And I think Rizza does believe in climate change. I think he is one of those. I'm a climate change guy.
We just yesterday in the BBC Guardian. Right. I don't know. I heard it from British sources, but renewable energy has now surpassed coal for worldwide for the first time. Bad news is not Europe is not helping at this point. It is largely because of the transition happening in China and India.
Are we back to trans problems again? I thought we'd stopped all that.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, what are you trying to say?
Stop the show.
You said it was a trans problem. I mean, are we back to Trump again?
Transition?
Is that what it is? Yeah, well, that's climate transition. I mean, that's going to be bad as well.
The energy transition. That's true.
Right.
All right, gentlemen. What
versus trans? They all want to compete with men in men's sports. It's not fair.
Here we go. Reza, welcome to the show. Greg, this is Reza. Reza is from Habanos Saturday, the show we do live every Saturday. I,
I'm curious.
unfortunately, I have to actually create hatred elsewhere in the world. Donnie and I are about to go tee off in about an hour. So I'm going to send Donnie everyone's regards. We'll send videos.
Stephen doesn't sleep. There is no point in the day when you can't message Stephen and he doesn't answer back. This is
He's a vampire. He's a vampire.
vampiric style of existence.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand this, but you guys may be able to tell me more. Greg, how are you? David, how are you?
Riza, just so you know, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Well, I know you're doing well because you're a vampire. You're always doing well. There's something.
Let me just say this. As I'm playing golf with Donnie today, we will think of the three of you. I must say this from the bottom, right here in my heart. I'm going to miss all three of you. Greg, I will see you next month. It's always good to see you. David, take notes. Riza, I'm glad you got to meet Greg because I think this would be a good show.
That was the thing. That was
fine. I'm fine. I'm fucking off. All right. Love you all. Mean it. Fans, don't forget to subscribe and like. I'm going to leave you in capable hands with these three gentlemen. I will see you whenever I see you. Guys, enjoy the show. I'll talk to you all later. Cheers, everybody.
I'm only on here, gentlemen. I'm only on here because I heard two or three, let's say three buzzwords, right? The first buzzword was cigars. The second buzzword was Trump. And the third buzz phrase was climate change. And it's really, really interesting what you guys are talking about. I watch all of the 2OF stuff, right? But this one seems the most interesting one. What are you guys up to?
Right. Well, I mean, I think Stephen was suggesting that you might be able to offer some insight into how Trump, is misunderstood.
I have no insight other than in a detached format. I don't know Donald Trump. I thought I knew something about U.S. politics and world politics, but every 2 or 3 months now, things used to change every 10 years. In the world that I come from, there was always a gradual change. Every 10-ish kind of years, there was 8, 9, 10 years that we heard about these 7-year economic cycles. When so for some reason we've heard, I don't know, in terms of human behavior, apparently you renew yourself every 7 years. So you're expecting things to change at that kind of pace. Sure. And now things change at a pace of every 2 weeks. It's very hard to fucking keep up, right? Whether it's technology is changing like that. People are changing like that. World politics are changing like that. Yeah. And what I like about Trump is stupidity doesn't change. It's a constant, right? Okay, right? And it's relatively predictable, okay? But there may be some form. So I think it was Plato who said that I know I'm really clever because I now know that I don't know everything, okay? So in order to...
Plato's overrated, I think.
It's exactly. You cannot pigeonhole people anymore, right? You have to expect the unexpected if you consider yourself to be a smart person. So Trump could be a bloody genius. He could be a complete genius.
I've made that point in my shows. I can show you the link.
And the only way to know if he's a genius is if you could travel forward in time 20, 30 years. And look back and say, well, look, he did this, and so this happened, and it happened for a positive way, right? Okay. In the eye of the storm, it's very hard to see the storm that's going on around you. To be
well, I think looking back into 2019, there's nothing to be kumbaya about, is it? Really, the first Trump won. I mean, was just
Trump term one. You mean?
Trump won.
And now we're in the second term. I think, don't forget, if you want big picture, America is heading up to the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. And I think we've been sleepwalking into this thing.
We don't care. We let you go.
There's no better way to appreciate a document like the Declaration of Independence, unless you see it ripped up with the U.S. Constitution.
Yeah, a little bit of a shake up.
Until it's gone. I think it's, big picture, it's kind of perfect. But anyway, the Trump is consistent, though. That is interesting. And David is saying, Trump decided on this thing. Like, who's deciding, really? So
deep state, etc., 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 etc. Right?
Or just two guys, Stephen Miller and Russell Vought. It's basically it's pretty clear. There's one name at the Pentagon that was mentioned, and I hadn't heard that one, and I forgot it promptly. But anyway, foreign policy. There's probably another Project 2025 guy working.
What are the general room views on climate change?
Yeah. So, well, I mean, it's
this will be interesting.
Yeah, sure. Well, we were focusing now on this energy transition, which, whether you believe in climate change or not, it seems to be economically a thing. And that's why I always find it interesting to check in with Stephen from his, financial world background. Where's the investment money going? And so anyway, I thought it was interesting. We just shared the headline that, what was it, yesterday says we had a world first that renewable energy generation has now surpassed. So energy generation by renewables has surpassed energy generation with coal. That is first.
Really?
And apparently last year. But no thanks to the US, certainly. And no thanks to the EU. That's where the transition is happening, but slowly. It's mostly China and India, apparently, that are making big strides and very quickly.
Yeah, did you see the headline this morning about the big strides of plastic pollution in the UK? They export 84% of it to third world country. So that's how you solve your plastic problem.
Well, so there's another big picture item as well. China was importing all this plastic waste for years and years. There was a sea change apparently with a documentary that came out, I think 2016 or so, maybe 10 years ago. But do you know this one? It followed this little girl whose job was to harvest whatever valuable stuff out of the waste dumps, and it's a terrible, terrible life. But so this film helped galvanize. I mean, go think how it galvanized public opinion. Like in China, public opinion had some effect on public policy, but that's how strong this image was. So it changed China's policy. They said we're not going to take plastic recycling, which is basically, can't be recycled. It's garbage. They're not going to take that. We're not going to take it anymore. So that happened about 10 years ago. Now I'm reading about how China is like Amsterdam, actually. They have a waste to energy plant, right? So it's basically an incinerator, but we can use the residual heat. We can use turn turbines with the, and
you're still recycling. You're still recycling the waste for energy, even if it's in a small format. You're still
and there are filters. They really want to try to cut down on the emissions, and great, but it's not perfect. But kind of what we got right now. Amsterdam can't generate enough garbage. Like we're getting so good at recycling that Amsterdam now has
importing it,
waste from Rome, and China is now looking at taking back plastic pollution from places like the UK.
Yeah. So you're talking about the big picture. The big picture is right. So you're now importing crap from somewhere else, and how much and transporting it halfway across Europe, or either by ship or whatever. And then you burn it here. In sunny Holland.
And the economic rationale for that is that despite the transport costs, despite the carbon emissions, whatever you burn, you still get something out of that makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, pollution. That's
right.
That's
so there isn't a money laundering scam taking place. There isn't a.
Well, you're taking garbage from Italy. There's
you see, just to David kind of knows this, but just to give Greg a little bit, I think we live just in a world of. There was a term. In magic terms, it was called mass hypnosis. You know that David Copperfield era of the 80s? Mass hypnosis. I live in a world where I believe we just live in a world of mass hypnosis. I think just as masses, we are just hypnotized to do whatever we need to do, and we're just milked for absolutely everything, drained for every last dollar, every
Attention
last
spans,
cent.
for example. Your attention span right now, dear viewer, is very valuable to us.
Yeah,
someone said it the other. I think it was the comedian Bo Burnham. I don't know if he coined this term, but the idea of colonizing our attention span. So, like, the classic colonizers, went from land to whatever information. But now
now it's down to psychology, is it?
Yeah. Well, I think he was saying. Well, yeah, I just pictured, isn't it? Is it just a coincidence that right around 2015-16, the time that TikTok, and Instagram Reels started to really kick in and weaponize our attention span? That's the time that we ended up with someone like, Farage being successful at Brexit, and Trump being successful in the U.S. They're just Trump is uniquely good.
Because they go for base values. They go for base human values, right? What we've got 100 million, a voting population of 100 million. What is the base value that connects most of them, so we get most of their votes, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's always visceral. It's always visceral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
Climate change. Oh yes, it's getting slightly warmer. There must be climate change taking place.
Yeah, but we've had this, because like when I was growing up, it was the Cuban Missile Crisis, and then the Cold War, and then and then nuclear. Everything nuclear was bad.
Yeah.
People on the barricades.
Scares you into it. It scares you into a position of defensive position.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. And I've said it before. When I was at primary school, we would actually we'd practice sitting under the tables.
Duck and cover.
You duck and cover, yeah.
Sorry, David, I didn't realize this. How old were you when the Cuban Missile Crisis happened? That was 1962?
Yeah, 5. I was 5 then.
Wow. That's just...
You were alive. And how about you, Greg? How old were you?
I was born in 68.
Yeah.
1968.
1968. So between the assassination of Martin Luther King and the assassination of Robert Kennedy Jr.
You were here in time. You were here in time.
In 1962, he was just a twinkle in his father's eye. In 1962.
For me, the whole of human civilization peaked at 1969. You were born before 69 or after 69, right?
Yes.
Okay. 1969 is the peak of everything. If you believe when I say if you believe, now we've got everyone, the naysayers, and so man stepped on the moon, I believe.
No, it didn't. It was filmed in Arizona. Everybody knows that. Come on.
It may have been filmed in Arizona, but Arizona on the moon.
Arizona yes. The moon.
Notwithstanding Capricorn 1, which is a fucking good
I've seen that film.
The Capricorn 1
when O.J. Simpson was cool.
And totally believable. But I think 1969, you were either born before or after. I unfortunately was born thereafter. But 1960, pre-1969, I have a huge amount of respect for people.
It was absolutely amazing, and we just sat there, just totally gobsmacked.
Yeah,
watching.
But I do have one issue. I know this is off piece, yeah. How did they get the video footage of Eagle One taking off from the moon? This is the part. That's the part I still find that slightly weird.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a trick. It's a Hollywood trick. That's how they do it.
No. Eagle One takes off. Correct. It's going back to the interceptor, whatever it was called. Right. Okay.
Yeah. What it must have.
Right. And that camera follows Eagle One taking off.
Yeah.
There's no Bluetooth. There's no Wi-Fi. Who the fuck was
controlling that camera? Huh.
So just that is a piece of engineering if it happened properly, right? So that's
such a good detail. I've never watched that much.
So you've seen it, right? You've seen it. You've seen when Eagle One takes off and is going back to the interceptor, correct?
No, I have to go back and watch that now.
So just watch that, and you think that's obviously a cameraman following it up, or it's a remote device. If it's a remote device, how did it so accurately?
Right?
Well, watch it. Just that. Forget everything else. Forget everything else.
Well, maybe NASA just put that bit in, just to make
It's a hell of a
TV.
piece of engineering if you think about it. Yeah, we're talking about like the phone that I'm calling you on has more computing power in an infinite amount than the whole mission had.
Yeah.
I'll
tell you a story about how much power things are. My father bought a calculator in the 70s. He paid 60 quid for it, which I think was like his month's wages. And he was and he said that it transformed his life. A calculator.
And before he had the abacus.
Yeah. Well, before that, he'd use it before that was a slide rule.
A slide rule, very, very British, very technical. The slide rule. Yeah.
So, if we're talking about mass hypnosis in outer space and technology, all right, I'm going to shift back to energy transition for a moment.
Yeah.
And I think, there was an article on a Tuesday in the Guardian newspaper, I think. They talked about how the reason that investment capital keeps resisting the green energy transition and renewables is that fossil fuels exist in a small number of discrete locations or a manageable finite number. And the right to exploit them, can be easily owned and monopolized. And, like you own the flow, whereas renewables are more like you install them and, one and done, or maybe you can manage the Anyway, that was on a Tuesday. On a Wednesday, I'm reading now about how space-based solar power offers monopolization of the global energy supply. So now I'm thinking, okay, maybe if we can make renewables into a fossil fuel like, upstream of resources. And maybe that would make renewables more attractive for these investors.
So what you're saying, Greg, and is that if the technology can be made, and we can get we take all our energy needs from space, to have that transported back to Earth.
Yes,
that would be totally enslaved. Then, will we not, by the energy companies?
I suppose so. Yeah.
One way or another will always be enslaved. It doesn't really make any difference whether it's fossil fuels or solar power. I mean, at the end of the day, solar power, the sun is there every bloody morning. The sun is there, right? Whether you capture it from space or you capture it on the ground, photosynthesis is solar energy, is it not? Right? Okay. Right? Yeah. This is all about how we
scam. We cannot trust these plants.
Well, I was at university about 135 years ago, right? I did a physics degree.
Clearly not that long ago. Look at that.
I did a physics and space science degree in London, right? Okay.
Okay.
One of my units, and this is, we're talking 1992, 93, was environmental physics, environmental economics, right? Okay. And I will never get this out of my brain. We were talking about climate change. Is climate change a real thing? Yeah, climate change is a real thing. It's been happening since this planet has existed. Yes. Okay, right? Okay. Yeah, and no meteor the size 20 kilometers in diameter was able to change climate change. I mean, the Earth recovers and exists and goes on, and human beings that exist on the thinnest skin around the planet Earth are not going to make a huge difference, right? And by the way, there are so many factors that you cannot convey to the I don't use this in a slandering way. The ordinary individual on the street is not aware of solar flares and magnetic radiation. All of these things that are happening in the solar system are affecting the temperature of the Earth in one degree or another over a period of time. You have ice ages. You have
volcanic eruptions that cause a year of blocking the sun. Yeah,
there you go. So we may be going through a period of the last 50 years or 100 years or 1,000 years of temperatures increasing or decreasing. Yeah, just to say that everything within written records, which can only be sort of like last 100 years or so, is pointing to the Earth getting warmer. So no shit, Sherlock. At one point, it will get warmer. At one point, it will get colder, right?
It would be
How
nice
much
to
of
be
it-
able to control the thermostat, though. I
Yeah,
will say that.
as human race, we're so pompous in thinking that we're the only ones that affect anything, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
that is
The arrogance of the arrogance of the Homo
that we're
sapien,
so fucking
you know.
important that
Oh, yeah.
we're the ones causing it.
Yeah.
And I feel that whether it's deep state or the powers to be, I think, oh, there's another visceral reaction, right? Okay, so we have to now be concerned about the environment. That means you guys have to spend more to get diesel cars, or now you guys have to spend more to get hybrid cars. 'Cause
Yeah.
these are sort of like, your main expenditure. I remember in the UK, David, I don't know if you were in the UK at that time. We're talking about 20 years ago. There was this mass migration to diesel cars.
Well,
Okay?
everything was the same here as well.
Mark
Well,
Diesel.
Diesel,
there
the
you
diesel's
go.
the
And
future.
And now
Yeah,
you're punished for having a diesel car. Now you're punished for having a diesel car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Now
Well,
you must go.
you're now being punished for having an electric car.
You're going to be punished for everything always.
That's
And that punishment is going to be delivered to you with a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, as some sort of like, you're doing the world a favor, you're doing your fellow human a favor, you're doing it. That's what I say. That's what I call mass hypnosis. Everything is designed to milk you at every step, whatever it is.
Well, it's always
That's
good
why
to
I'm
have
thinking,
somebody positive on the show, Thanks, Reza.
if we can have, monopolizable green energy, like, I know I'm going to get ripped off somehow, but
green energy is you living on a farm and running a subsistence farm, and just sort of like, I'll grow my own cherries, my own tomatoes, and whatever it is. Well, that's green living.
That would be good. Yikes. And no, anyway. Oh yeah. Well, no, I'm good.
I know. I just did that just to clarify.
Sorry, climate skepticism. That's I was trying to think, when I just read an article about the father of climate skepticism. I think it was not the 1990s. I think it was 1970s. It was a Dutch guy named Fritz Butcher.
Named David.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But his job was to start up these academies and institutes and academic sounding organizations that would cherry pick these arguments about, how EVs
and get lots of money in
from
as
their
well.
tires and their brakes.
Well, there you go. It's all down to magic. Yeah, these are magic card tricks. You're
that's
only
also
allowed to pick the cards that we give
But
you.
he was a Dutch guy, and then someone did the follow the money, like who was paying for him to create these
follow the money trail. That's right.
institutions. It was KLM, it was Shell, it was the Dutch driving, the AAA of the Netherlands. So. Anyway,
but none of these big legacy energy companies want green to be successful, because it's like turkeys voting.
Well, they try to go for hydrogen. I think that's why hydrogen is like a resource that they can,
but
Shell stopped that now in the Europort. They've just
I know.
They were doing.
Do you remember cold fusion? Do you folks remember cold fusion? Cold fusion, that sort of like there was that breakthrough.
Like 70s rock band dance. The cold fusion.
Well, excellent. No, but the cold fusion happened around the time. Once again, I was at university, sort of like whatever. But this is talking like early 90s. Yeah, This guy managed to do cold fusion in a laboratory. And that's the last time you heard about him.
Yeah,
basically he just disappeared after that, right? Yeah,
and he got thrown out of a window somewhere.
He didn't get thrown out of a window. He got put in an underground bunker, and he's generating cold fusion for everyone, whilst we, the mass, are paying for petrol and renewable energies. Yeah,
that must be it.
Right,
I like that.
But there you go. There's the basis of a novel. There's the basis of a sort of like a John le Carré kind of novel. You know what I mean?
You three, we three are going to team up and write that novel.
We're doing it now. We've just done sort of like this, sort of like we're talking through the screenplay of it here. Yeah. It starts on a chat.
Well, look, I want to bring in then solar flares, because that's one of those things that people have to say very quickly.
Solar flares. That sounds like a 70s type of jeans.
I was
making the David joke there. Sorry, David. Please make your point.
No, I mean, hey, you're the comedian. So, who am I to laugh? Solar flares.
You have to laugh at the comedian.
People say it very quickly. Solar flares. And then because they said, well, what could they possibly do? Well, it could, a solar flare could actually, it could stop social media in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah,
good old social media, but nobody wants to talk about them. So,
just for context, an average solar flare. So this is a flame that juts out of the sun that is burning a million.
Not a pair of jeans then.
Yeah. Do you know the size of that flare? The size of that flare is equal to almost 8 to 9 times the diameter of planet Earth. That's how big a solar fucking flame is, right?
Oh, good. Yeah.
And it releases heat, it releases magnetism, and it releases electromagnetism, right? And those rays are constantly being emitted throughout the solar system, right? We as normal, average, everyday human beings are unaware of the effects of these things from a minute-to-minute basis, or an hour-to-hour, or a season-to-season basis. Yeah. Scientists are very well placed to understand these things. Yeah. So solar flare, as you say, David, very correctly. Yeah. If you had if people were a little bit more educated on the mechanics of the solar system, they would have a better appreciation of the context of within which they live their lives. Okay. And so things like climate change, even philosophy, would have a little bit more of a sort of, it would be more of a thinking point rather than a sort of like, yes, we have to pay more money for petrol, or more money for,
solar panels that you now get punished for having, for
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
For warmtepomp.
You get punished for solar panels now.
Yeah, I will be. Yeah, in a year's time.
This is a theme for us.
Yeah, because this goes back to like the solar panels are the diesel of today. So everybody went diesel because they said, hey, diesel's clean and it's great, and the Germans love it. You'll be able to go everywhere. Yeah, you'll be able to go everywhere. And the Germans were made these fantastic diesel engine cars that went on forever. And then they said, oh, well, no, actually, we don't like diesel anymore. So that's dirty and polluting. Yeah. But it may be, of course, because people were sort of cheating and using the old red diesel, agricultural diesel, and not paying enough for it. Who knows?
You mean we're going to be taxed for everything?
Yeah.
We are. Yeah. Well, okay, I mean, this show's very taxing. So
never mind. Yes.
So the context is that we studied medieval history at school, right? And one of the funniest things to this day, I still find it funny, is the window tax. Remember you? 500 years ago, if you had a window with glass in it, this was a measure of your wealth, really, and you were taxed according to the window. The aperture that let light in, if it had glass, you were taxed on it. Yeah.
Yeah, tax glass.
And the world hasn't changed. And the world hasn't changed. You're taxed for anything and everything you can be taxed for.
So some things never change. Gents, you mentioned it's taxing, but also I need to
tax somewhere else. You need to tax somewhere else. Yeah.
Yes, I need to pay my tax to the tax man. Reza, great to meet you. Thank you. Sir.
Yeah, jump on next time, and because we always like to talk. We always like to talk about. Unfortunately, you are. Yeah, you're still here.
Right, and so I will see you next month, Reza. I hope to see you as well. And
take good care, folks.
Yes.
Yeah. So just thanks everybody who tuned in today to watch. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's a mad show. It's why it's called Funny Ha, because you don't really know what we're going to talk about, when we're going to talk about it, and who we're going to talk about it with. But as ever, Greg, great to have you. And Reza, until the next time, guys, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.